Hey guys, welcome to the TI4 Qualifiers! SCA edition. My name is Sunsfan, joining me center. This is all presented by Monster. This is actually a test bed of sorts to see how annoyed you guys get with my voice. Because I am horribly sick, apparently.
That's an exaggeration, but you've got a cold.
Right, actually I feel fine, it's just I sound horrible. You can blame gods, he infested me with whatever Aussie string of disease he has, but we actually missed our way into the game. Why don't you tell them this, because this seriously sounds horrible.
Okay.
Horrible!
Yeah, so apparently we were a little bit late on joining in Dota TV, or in joining the actual hosted game. So we're not on Dota TV, so if you want to listen to our broadcast, you're going to have to do it on this stream because the game is already going. The draft is actually pretty far.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a one-time mistake. Won't happen again, until it happens next time. So let's go into the draft actually, because we're pretty far already. So what you guys are watching is of course the BTS stream number 2 for the qualifiers. It's Orange versus MiTH Trust. Orange on the Dire, MiTH on the Radiant. We've got a lot of picks and bans already since because of this a little bit of delay, and there was a little bit of change in the hosting and passwords, so we needed to get adjusted to that, and because of that we were late. So oops. Anyway, Ancient Apparition, Centaur banned out by Orange, and MiTH are gonna ban Invoker Lycan, so the first phase begins. Ember Spirit, a hero. I feel like we're just entering a different world, honestly, from casting the Americas qualifier. This is totally different. The only thing in this draft that seems familiar is the Bat Rider first pick. Everything else, Ember Spirit, Doom being picked up early by MiTH, Shadow Shaman first phase support, then we have Weaver, Queen of Pain for Orange, which were picked a little bit. Viper, Rubik for MiTH. The bans, Nyx, Treant getting banned in the second phase, Wraith King, Lone Druid banned by MiTH. Like, Lone Druid ban, I don't think we barely saw that in the Americas one. And then Sand King and Dazzle. So at least the Sand King ban is something that is recurring, but again, a 5th phase Sand King ban, I feel like he's starting to fall a little bit out of favor compared to what we've seen recently. Yeah,
I'm actually excited to cast the SCA in general because of all the heroes that we haven't seen a whole lot of. Like you said, Bat Rider is the only one that's really consistent. Queen of Pain, been buffed recently. Typically, God, I can't even stand listening to my own voice right now. It's so bad. But typically, when you have a mid player, when you have a mid choice of a hero, it's Storm Spirit, Puck are like the two most common in the same kind of role. Not even picked or banned here, and choosing Queen of Pain over that. Now, of course, she was buffed in 6.81 with Shadow Strike at level 4 being, I think, 4-second cooldown, which is ridiculous. And I think maybe the range, the cast range was increased as well. But yeah, this should be a little interesting to see how SCA teams pick. I mean, Centaur first ban is pretty cool to see, which I would think means we're going to be seeing more Centaur in this qualifier.
I think so far in this draft, the standout pick for me is the Rubik, which is such a good pick here. Can steal Shikuchi, he can steal Blink, has an instant stun against both of these targets, he can steal Mass Serpent wards. Generally glues well with their lineup in terms of initiating team fights with the telekinesis.
Well?
Can you say that?
I think it's meshes well.
No, he glues.
He
That's what he does. And actually, wow, they're going to pick the Puck here for MiTH. So I thought they were going to get a secondary support, but this means it's pretty much guaranteed a Doom in the jungle. So their lineup, I feel like, is very greedy now. Having Viper, Puck, and Ember Spirit as your solos will probably put the Puck in the offlane. That can work since they're Radiant. I feel like Puck offlane on Dire is very weak. And, you know I like this hero. And was that even picked once in the Americas qualifier?
Not that we saw.
Orange likes to play Night Stalker as, believe it or not, a support.
Really?
And I actually think they're going to do it here.
Oh, that's really good against Puck. Really good against Ember Spirit. The silence is what I'm really looking at here, the crippling fear. You know what? I'm going to do something really weird. I'm going to go blow my nose again.
Okay.
The good thing about being in Dota TV, I can just put on directed cam, so I probably won't miss anything. So that's probably good. This is horrible, but I'll be right back. I love you.
Alright, I'll keep you guys entertained meanwhile. I'll give you some details about the sounds coming out of the bathroom here. Alright, Sunsfan is opening the door. He says, "Oh God, kill me." Walks out there. He's kind of laughing a bit. Nothing going on so far. There we go. That's the first one. Get it all out. You can do it. I feel like he's laughing more than he's cleaning his nose. That's not too good. Anyway, directed camera, absolutely phenomenal, keeping track of Orange's movements right here. So we're going to run over the players right now. We've got Winter, the captain, playing as Batrider. The Queen of Pain will be played by Izira. Shocks will be playing as the Weaver. Then we've got Insidious C on the Night Stalker and Sharky on the Shadow Shaman. And for MiTH on the opposite side, you will not be seeing this on camera right now because it's directed. We've got Lakels playing as the Ember Spirit. TNK will be on the Rubik. I'm actually not sure how this is supposed to be read. That's a little confusing, but I think it's Kites playing as the Puck. We've got Boombell on the Doom, and finally Abba will be playing as the Viper. So before we get into this game, a little bit of a rundown of how these teams usually play. Orange like to play teamfight oriented and heavy mid game, which I feel like their draft fits very well for. And MiTH is classically a 4 protect 1 team. Lakels is an amazing farmer and split push carry player. His last game he played Ember Spirit in as well. He got like 500 CS. They still lost though to a farmed Naga.
You didn't tell me my overlay was messed up, bro.
Was your overlay messed up?
Yeah, it was.
Oh boy.
It was on draft, but it's okay.
Oh great. Well, we're used to that up here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. The teams are introduced. Looks like we might have a level 1 fight perhaps or gank break out here.
Holy, this is set for Rubik. Oh, that's Kuroki's set. That cape looks actually really blue. Bluer than I'm used to seeing. Anyway, on the Dire side, which I'm sure you've actually already introduced everybody. So they're going to be in the jungle here. I apparently just don't sound any better. It sounded good for like 10 seconds, and now I'm back to just sounding like a 12-year-old kid who hasn't blown his nose. But looks like we're going to have Ember Spirit in the safe lane farm role, which I actually brought this up with the nerf to Ember Spirit that I don't think he's that good mid anymore. And I'd like to see him more in the farming role. So that's what we're going to be seeing from SEA, and of course from the America's qualifiers. They just didn't play him whatsoever, and I know that you value that pick very highly, still.
Yeah, I'm surprised how much he's fallen off. Sure, he got some nerfs, and they were relevant, but I still think this hero, the concept of the hero, is absolutely insane if you get a good game. So we're gonna see if that's the case here. I think Orange has drafted well against the Ember, and that's of course the thing when MiTH picks this early. Orange gets to set up for it, so they've got the Lasso to break him, they've got the Night Stalker Silence, and they've got the Shadow Shaman with both Hex and Shackles. So generally, Ember is a kind of hero you want to counter with Silence and Stuns. In that regard, similar to his other spirit brother, the Storm Spirit. And
well, there's an Earth Spirit too, bro.
Yeah, he's not in CM though.
He's still awesome. Is Jungle Doom a normal thing in SCA? They blocked off all his camps, that poor guy.
I think it's more normal in SEA than it is in America, at least. I think it's something more Chinese teams do when they feel like they can get away with running it greedily, but it's still I wouldn't say this is that uncommon. The question for me is right now, in terms of the offlane in particular, how much is Batrider going to get compared to the Puck, who is of course in the Radiant offlane, which I feel like is getting more and more important to have the Radiant offlane as an advantage. Teams are getting better at dealing with the Dire Roshan advantage, but the Radiant offlane is really strong compared to the Dire one. But Winter is doing a good job here with the Batrider.
Really is.
To be fair, it's also an easy lane. He's going against Rubik and Ember, who probably can't kill him, and he knows that the third hero down here is a Doom, who's level 1, because they've blocked like everything for him.
Yeah, that poor freaking guy. He did get sentries from the Rubik, so he's going to be dewarding those, no problem, or at least for now. Of course, he blocked his own camp here. Actually, no, that doesn't block it. My mistake. Actually, does it? I don't think it does. This you can't even see my pings probably because we're in Dota god-awful TV. But I'll assume that you can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So he'll be getting his... Either way, he's not even that fast of a jungler overall, so he's going to be quite behind here, I feel like. But yeah, you're right. The Puck, who started out with boots, I feel like that in itself is a little odd even. I mean, I know offlaners like to get boots sometimes, but Puck,
Shackle?
I don't feel like that's one of them. Shackle top lane, apparently. Puck, very short jaunt to his orb. He's going to continue to see pressure, and the first blood's going to go the way of Orange. And bottom lane, looks like Batrider, Winter getting extremely low. One more right click's going to do it, but Lakels cannot quite catch him. Actually, Rubik's going to go down to this. Oh my 7
goodness.
HP on the Rubik.
Yeah, those boots on the Batrider were really working out for him there, else he would have probably died. But the short jaunt from Puck there, I think he was afraid of getting silenced by Night Stalker, but he is, as a matter of fact, skilled Hunter in the night, which is completely useless right now. I'm surprised he even put that skill point.
That's really weird.
There is no reason to skill this until it's nighttime. Either you skill the silence or you hold your skill point. But he went for the Crippling Fear. With
well, then again,
it's Crippling Fear there, that would have been an easy kill.
Yeah, well, first of all, I
still got it.
That's why I mentioned that Crippling Fear obviously at the beginning because it's so good against Puck and Ember Spirit, but he's playing the support role like you talked about, so he's maybe not feeling confident that he's going to be getting these levels. And it's going to be nighttime in another 40 seconds. But even with that, you're going to have a level 1 Void. I'm not exactly sure. Don't worry, the overlays are fixed. Don't worry, buddy. It's all good. we have Conrad just running in here, panting his quarter of the life away. It's all good, bro.
Got him. So, overall, a slight lead for Orange. Of course, they get the first blood. The golden experience is about a few hundred for them so far. So even though the Doom got shut down really heavily, I don't think they've taken too big casualties.
Right.
My main question here is, when you're running an Ember Spirit as your main carry here, if he does not have a good start, I'm slightly worried for MiTH's impact in the mid-game, going into this very, very heavy mid-game lineup from Orange. Now that the nighttime has begun and Night Stalker can start roaming, I feel like Orange are picking this Night Stalker when they feel like they can get away with it. It's not a good lane support compared to many others. He's melee, he's slow in the day, but if you can pull this off in a support role, now he's really, really strong as a ganker. Even though he's only level 3, he's got a great slow and a low cooldown with high damage. His move speed is the highest on the map. The Ember Spirit is not level 6. I mean, maybe Batrider and Night Stalker together can get like 2 kills here right now when he comes down.
Yeah, Winter being quite aggressive. He's going to find himself in some trouble because the telekinesis is going to be the initiation here for MiTH Trust. And there goes the Fade Bolt on top of it. Actually, the Searing Chain are going to be enough to take him out. Night Stalker just wasn't here in time. And obviously, they didn't know there was 3 there, so that was a little bit miscalculation. But I kind of agree with you, Night Stalker. He could be used as a roamer. But again, with that failed gank, his levels are just going to be hurting for squirting, as I like to say.
Perhaps they can get a kill mid, though.
What? No response?
No.
What is this?
Oh yeah, there's actually a bug in this version. I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
Go
it's
look
Weaver.
at Night Stalker. God. Look at the Night Stalker. He's green. Look at him running.
You're talking about the animation, yeah.
Yeah, so he has the hurt animation nighttime for some reason some of the time when he's running, even though he has full HP. It's a little weird. He is going to catch out TNK now. I think TNK is pretty much dead. Batrider is over the top of him as well. There's still no silence though, so maybe here with it. No, never mind. That telekinesis isn't going to do anything. Maybe they actually go for Lakels as well. There is another Void available. No, not going to do that. Meanwhile, mid lane, Viper. This is a very hard lane for Queen of Pain. Viper's one of the best heroes against Queen because Queen usually wins the lane by harassing with Shadow Strike, but it does almost the same damage to you when Viper has a point in Corrosive Skin, because every time that triggers it resets it. Now Doom is very doomed.
Indeed. Night Stalker getting telekinesis and slowed. Viper Strike is there. That should be the death of Night Stalker, who still hasn't... He's level 4. You would assume he gets 1 in Crippling Fear here, unless... I mean, is there any reason not to go Crippling Fear at level 4 in this game? You have 2 really mobile heroes. I know Ember Spirit's not quite 6 yet, but, well, next creep will actually do that.
He just skilled it. The reason why he could choose not to go for that is that it was almost going to be daytime, but even then... Like,
oh, great fake out by Ysera. Forcing the phase shift out, gets both the Scream of Pain and the Sonar Scream. Wait, Sonic Wave. Shit, I did it again. What is this Sonar Scream? Somebody needs to like tell us, even though I'm not reading the chat, somebody needs to tell us where that came from. That is something. I know it's something. I wouldn't just make it up. I don't do that kind of stuff.
And
but they take the top tier 1.
This is pretty huge, actually. The Puck is level 4 in the Radiant offlane at 7 minutes, whereas the Batrider is level 6 in the Dire offlane. So the beginning now for Orange has just been way better. As a matter of fact, Winter's going to rotate in towards the mid lane. They're going to go in on Abba here. He does have the lasso. He's going to get silenced as well. A little bit of overlapping. Doesn't matter at all, though. No, it doesn't.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, he got denied. Oh, my God. Really well played from Rubik. I feel like Orange was a little bit hesitant, didn't want to dive too much, which is understandable, but as a result of their hesitance, the opening for the deny was there, and MiTH Trust took advantage of it.
So, overall...
Oh, great. I can't wait to see all the Dota TV comments. Hold on, let me... there we go. Spectator chat off. God, this is so ghetto.
Good job.
Night Stalker's going to find Rubik in the jungle. Telekinesis is there, and of course he can TP out no problem because the Void was already used. So, in a lot of ways... Well, Night Stalker's he's a good ganker, but of course he has that one negative side to him. If you force out the void, you can just TP out right
Get
away.
Yule's Night Stalker.
Yeah, that's true. That's something Dendy did in our tournament, right?
The Yule's Night Stalker is actually makes even more sense when you play him in a support role if he can get away with getting it, of course, which you obviously do need quite a bit of farm. But if he can pull that off, I think that would be an amazing item for a support Night Stalker. We're going to see if he tries to go for that. However, kind of the big point right now for MiTH is that Lakels is getting a good start, which I feel like is the most important thing for them. He is an amazing farmer and carry player, as I said. And he has the highest CS on the board. He has one kill. That wasn't the first blood, though, I believe. That was not in the bottom lane, so it wasn't that much gold, but still definitely relevant. And yeah, if they're going to smoke gank his lane right now and get him even beefier here, he's going to have a very early drum. And perhaps he can deal with the fact that he is kind of counterpicked here in the mid game.
Yeah, especially once Night Stalker gets some levels here. But this smoke gank will help quite a bit if they're able to actually successfully do so. Of course, Night Stalker isn't the #1 target of choice, but they're going to take what they can get. Searing Chains to follow. Don't even need the Viper Strike. Tries to TP out, but of course the Telekinesis is there to finish him off. To help finish him off, I should say. So 5-3 advantage of Orange right now, but like you talked about, Lakel's getting pretty good farm overall. Now, the things that were changed for 6.81 on Ember Spirit, which you've talked about at length, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Searing Chains was changed, so it's weaker early, which of course leads you to have to level it to level 4 to be most useful, unlike before. And then also the, what was it, the Sleight of Fist, the damage was reduced. But of course, late game, it doesn't really matter. If you get the items on him, he's still as powerful because, like we talk about all the time, Ice Frog does not like to nerf the main strength of a hero. He'll nerf something else to make him still viable. And I think Sleight of Fist, just the range is one of the main reasons why this hero is... I mean, you can initiate with him without any risk at all.
And the hero's mobility overall, which wasn't touched at all. Like, his ultimate works the same way as it used to. So, and a lot of people were saying that was the most imbalanced thing about the hero, just how mobile he is around the map. But it's the hero's identity is that you're elusive like that and that you can harass using the Sleight of Fist from big range, like you say. So he still does that. And of course, the Sleight of Fist nerf wasn't just flat damage. The cooldown is the same. So in late game, that flat damage nerf really is insignificant compared to the 3 or 4 items you're going to have at that point. They deal so much more. We are going to see a smoke gank from Orange. They're moving in the Shadow Shaman as well as the Night Stalker. Will maybe get the smoke broken here, actually. Rubik will break the smoke of Shadow Shaman. And Lakels, if he gets Flame Guard off, I don't think they can kill him.
Well, they get the Shackle off. And the silence is there, so...
Just kidding, they can kill
him. With the lasso, they have quite a bit of lockdown. But I think the silence is what you keep forgetting on... I mean, even Night Stalker during the day, the silence is still somewhat useful. Obviously, it's going to last longer during the night, but when you can layer it correctly with a Sheep and then eventual lasso, the Flame Guard's not going to do a whole lot for you, as this Tier 1 tower is going to take a little bit of damage.
I actually thought he was going to survive that, because he does have level 4 Flame Guard, so that blocks 500 magic damage, so he pretty much blocks the Ether Shock, the first Void, and some of the Firefly damage. But there was still too much. The lockdown was too long. He ran out of that, and of course he still takes the physical damage, so mass TP support here. I don't think this is going to work out for MiTH.
Night Stalker pops his ult, and Rubik is just dead right off the bat. We're just going to assume he's dead there. Flame Winter very low. He's stuck in the Dream Coil. He's going to go down eventually. And now the pressure continues towards this Viper, it looks like. So it's a 2-for-2 exchange at this point. Doom is actually stuck in between with the Lakels. Weaver gets silenced. Was that a Doom on? It must have been a Doom applied to the Weaver, as Lakel is taken out as well. So a 3-for-2 exchange in the favor of MiTH Trust, but the aggression is really on Orange.
I'm really surprised MiTH chose to TP into that. The Mass Serpent wards were already dropped. They already lost a hero before that, and were pretty much in a terrible position to take that fight. And going for that, even though Lakels did pick up a kill or two, dying again, still losing the tower, I feel like that was easily advantage Orange. And with that, the Batrider is almost going to have his Blink Dagger, and I think from now on for MiTH Trust, it's going to get harder now. They lost their safe lane tower, they've lost their off lane tower. This means Batrider, the map opens up for him. He starts farming their jungle, so there's even less farm for Doom. Weaver can safe farm. Meanwhile, he has Midas and Perseverance, so he's looking at a pretty early Linken's. Queen of Pain, I wonder what she's going to go for. She's going to go for the Orchid here, which is just another counter to the Ember Spirit.
That's true.
And the Puck. Or if she's going to go down the route of getting an early BKB so that she doesn't get Telekinesis, doesn't get chained, can ignore Puck pretty much. There's still the Doom then, but if she takes the Doom while in BKB, it just makes so much more space for the Weaver.
And Puck still does not have his Blink Dagger. Not too far off right now, about 500 away. But again, we're talking about 13 minutes in the game. Puck not having a Blink Dagger is not a good thing, to say the least. We saw that Night Stalker picked up a bunch of mid-game items with the treads and the Urn of Shadow, so expect his ganking to go up through the roof. Of course, he has level 1 Darkness, but once it hits level 2, that's when the nighttime actually starts to... You can actually feel the difference in the duration. Blink Dagger now on Batrider as well, so this is where, again, Orange is being really aggressive, and they're just going to continue to do so. They have a very mid-game oriented lineup with a little bit of, I shouldn't say a little bit, a lot of late game with Weaver to fall back on. But I feel like Weaver is a hero that, especially once he finishes his Lincolns, which he still needs the Ultimate Orb and Recipe, but he's a hero that can participate in team fights, and that's one of the reasons that these SEA teams love him. Blink Dagger now on Doom. I was actually wondering if he's going to go for MiTH, but he goes for a little bit more mobility. So Blink, Doom into, I suppose Weaver is their main priority, who, like I talked about, is going to be going for that Lincolns, which the Blink initiation is going to be very difficult to do. Here we have more initiation, though. Winter's going to find MiTH Trust, or Orange, in the jungle. I don't even know what guy's name I'm saying, but 2 dead right off the bat from MiTH Trust. The Dream Coil was popped.
Oh, bye-bye, Zero. Okay, he's dead.
Queen of Pain gets doomed in the meantime.
Oh, nice ward trap.
Ward trap onto Doom. He's going to try to fight his way out. Not a whole lot of damage from the wards itself, though, as Night Stalker pops his ultimate. He's going to try to get one more right-click in before he drops. He does do so. Abba, in the meantime, on Viper, 5 stack of sticky napalm. He's going to attempt to run away, but I believe one more right-click will do the job, and it does just that. Here's the TP in. Somehow Rubik is up again. I believe he stole Sakuchi. Isn't able to take advantage of it, though. Another Orb. Don't think he has any follow-up, though, so despite these heroes coming back really early, they're not able to actually finish anybody off. Winter, very low.
So cocky from Winter here.
He was silenced, can't get out. Blink is up, though, and he will go back to safety. So Orange is super aggressive. Pretty much.
I love seeing this out of Orange because I feel like the lineup they've drafted really should be played this aggressively. The only reason that fight didn't go better for them, they still won it, though, but Weaver came in fairly late. I think they got surprised by how many opponents were actually there. But these Mass Serpent Wars are just doing work. Like, the team fights are taking place in the Mass Serpent Wars for like 10 to 15 seconds.
Yep.
Then Shadow Shaman is just almost flat out the best support at 15 minutes. Like, they do so much damage. When they're dropped, I feel like what MiTH needs to do is they need to create space. They doom the Queen of Pain, they kill her, then they move away from the wards. And if that means the fight ends, so be it. But don't fight under them. You're gonna lose pretty much every single fight. Your Ember Spirit had a great start, has now died 3 times. A lot of it taking the damage from these Mass Serpent Wards. He only has 5 armor, so they do hit very hard.
Puck right now, I mean, look at Puck. He's only 100 away from Blink, but this is, like I talked about, this is 16 minutes in. I mean, when Batrider is getting close to finishing his 4-staff and already has the Blink, that's when things are getting scary. Shadow Shaman, in the meantime, 1,200 gold. Once he gets Blink Dagger, this, I feel like, is going to be Orange's game to lose. A Blink Hex is pretty much the best initiation you can possibly get. I mean, even BKBs can't save you, unless your reaction time is just redonkulous, but you can never rely on that 100%. Winter's going to steal some jungle camps here from MiTH Trust. As Quap bottles the rune, it looks like they're going to be amalgamating towards mid, so this tier 1 tower is the target of choice, I do believe, as the MiTH. So MiTH Weaver with the Perseverance.
Weaver's going to get lifted here. Do they have the follow-up? Yes, they do.
Dream Coil to follow. A lot of right-click damage. Can't get the time-lapse. He does get the time-lapse off, though. Abba, the Sonic Wave. Oh, man. Despite the good initiation from MiTH Trust, Orange just has too much right now.
And that was so close for Sox, or Shocks. I think it's pronounced Shocks.
Soshka, bro.
Oh, well, from one hell into the other, this one he's not going to escape.
Yeah.
Shocks is very dead. Lakel's is going to jump out. Actually might get denied. Oh.
Close.
Sleight of Fist
Very
making
close.
sure he gets that kill, but Orange were just ready for it, and their counter initiation is very powerful. When the enemy team stacks up, easy to hit that sonar storm from the Queen of Pain on multiple targets.
You love it.
Batrider was in position for it as well. Shadow Shaman again with the Mass Serpent Wards doing so much damage
Puck
once again.
Keeps dying. Look at this. He still doesn't have enough gold for Blink Dagger. It's just always so close. Just finish it. Just finish it, please, I beg of you. And Winter has officially completed his 4-staff to go along with that Blink Dagger, so I feel like Batrider, obviously he can get better items like a Shiva's or something like that, something to help his initiation, but this is like his peak in the mid game is right now, and it's gonna be very difficult to counter, especially when you're so underfarmed. MiTH Trust is right now. But they're gonna group up towards bottom. Blink Dagger there, finally on Puck. Is this too late?
Yeah, I was about to say, you just wonder if it's too little too late. Like, the timing is of course late, so we can say, from the standpoint that he was in the Radiant offlane, 18 minutes is just late. From the standpoint of the, just looking at how the entire game is going, Orange is ahead by 10,000 gold with a 6-kill lead. Just shows how much they've been out-farming their opponents. They're 3 towers ahead, so that's about roughly 4K of that gold, maybe almost 5. So apart from that, they've just farmed the map way better. 6 kills do not give you 5,000 gold, so... the Blink on Puck, I think, now you just go if you're MiTH. You go find fights. You've got Blink on Puck, you've got Blink on Doom. Ember Spirit is actually going to go for a BKB first. He feels like he's been forced into that. If you get put in that position, that hero is just so much weaker. BKB first. I mean, sure, you've got some damage with the Flame Guard, etc., but this is a snowball type of hero. If your first big item is very defensive, you just lose a lot of momentum in the game. There's going to be a free Roche by the looks of it. What do you know? Mass Serpent Ward's being useful again here for Orange.
Why do we not see Shadow Shaman a whole lot in America?
I do not know. I think it's an amazing hero. When you the main
I don't like it as a 5. Like a 4 where you can get a little bit of farm, or even like when you have a little bit of a lead, you can snowball out of control with this hero. I mean, the Blink is now up on Shadow Shaman, so it's just so hard to initiate.
I think his main weakness is the early laning stage if you get challenged by a really strong lane, because Shadow Shaman is one of those heroes where you have to choose between your damage or your nuke, and your most important... your damage or your control, sorry. And your most... Like, the only combination skill you have is Shackles, which does damage and stuns, but at the same time you can't attack meanwhile, so it's kind of... It's not that effective. He has very low armor, very low health, so he's very fragile in those types of situations. But in this game where they see, okay, there's no way in hell MiTH is going aggressive trialing because they have like a Rubik and a Doom, then you can run like whatever support you want. That's why they picked the Night Stalker support. That's why the Shadow Shaman was going to turn out great.
You're a little bit surprised they put the Aegis on Quap and not on Weaver. Weaver has like almost no defensibility right now. The Lincoln isn't completed. He's about 300 away from finishing the ultimate orb. He already has the recipe, of course. Winter. We have a smoke here from Orange.
Oh, Lakel's is in trouble.
On Lakel's. He can't even pop his Flame Guard in time. He's just going to get blown up to the Sonic Storm wave, whatever you want to call it. Now Rubik taking the Shackle. That's 3 dead right away.
Make it 4.
In favor of Orange.
And a Courier.
Did they get the Courier?
Right. I don't think that could have gone worse.
Well, Doom's alive, so you got that for you, I suppose.
So Puck tried to blink in and help with a counter-initiation coil there. He just almost immediately got blown up by the Queen of Pain. Mass Serpent Ward to drop. This tier 2 is going to fall. And Orange, they're looking pretty good so far in this qualifier. Their previous game, I believe they won pretty handily. Going into the qualifier, I was actually expecting Orange to do well, but then I was told that their previous like 11 games they lost. Not matches, but in terms of, like, they lost their last 5 or 6 matches, which were best of 3s, and overall their total score was like 0-11 or something like that. Like, really weak performance lately.
What are your thoughts on MiTH Trust?
But they're looking good so far.
What are your thoughts? Because again, this is a test run to see if people can stand my voice or not. Because I feel like I'm able to cast, but, well, we'll see. But we're going to be casting like 4 MiTH Trust games today, so we're going to get used to them quite a bit.
To be completely honest, I was expecting more from them. Of course, we're in the beginning of the qualifiers, so it's hard to say exactly how it's going to develop, but I would say MiTH Trust for me was a dark horse for top 4, maybe even top 2, because in the past they have some really experienced players, especially between Abba and Lakel's. But in this game, they went ultra greedy and they've just been punished for it. And TNK, of course, a very experienced player too. Maybe their Achilles heel is drafting. We're going to see if this is going to be a pattern or not. But I feel like in terms of overall skill level, their players are definitely capable of challenging the best in SEA. But so far, this game leaves a lot to be desired, so we're going to see. But like you said, we're going to cast quite a few games of them today, so we're going to see if this was just a one-off.
Alright, a support Night Stalker with Aghanims.
At 22 minutes with Earn. This is,
oh boy.
It's pretty damn good. So of course what this does, it gives him unobstructed vision and 1800 AoE, so you can see him on the minimap right now, giving extremely good vision. And with Darkness on level 2, he can keep the nighttime running for quite a while. This is probably the best choice for a support Night Stalker, together with the Yules I was suggesting, but I don't think they need it in this game.
Well, the Yules is on Batrider now.
The Axe is probably a better choice here to break high ground.
Yeah, I mean, look at Batrider's inventory. This is ridiculous. Blink, Force Staff, and Yules. You have pretty much everything you need for him. Shiva's is the only thing I can think of that would help your initiation a little bit more, but I mean, that's just overkill at a certain point. He's going to pop his Firefly, looking for an initiation. I don't think he's going to find anybody right off the bat, but MiTH Trust is going to defend this tier 2.
Right off the bat. What you did there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Force Staff. Abba taking the Sonic Wave to the side of the face. He's going to get his Viper Strike off. He's working on his Aghanim Scepter. Pops the mech. 1 dead. Puck. So squishy at this point. 2 dead. And the aggression continues for Orange. Rasta dies on the back end. Negative Earn Charge applied to Abba. The right click's not going to be enough, but here comes Weaver. Finishing him off, pretty much no problem. The Lincoln's is finished. Don't think we said that officially. Of course, he was very close last time we checked. And Orange is going to clear up this tier 2, if not more. I mean, the only problem with this is the cooldowns. Oh, actually, Sarah getting pretty cocky. Of course, he has the Aegis. Might as well just use it here. Oh, he did have the regen. That's right. So it's going to be basically 3 lives for Sarah.
Just pretty much... I don't know if you could say squeezing the Orange there in terms of how much he tanked. Oh, the team is actually called Orange. Oh. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, really? Wow, we're just like...
You didn't think of right off the bat either,
no,
did you?
No, I didn't.
We're just that good. Okay.
We're just that good, I guess.
Yeah, we're just that lucky.
But this is... The funny thing is they're dominating right now, but they can't breach the base because the cooldowns on the death timers or whatever are still relatively low. I mean, the levels, like looking at the levels right now, it's... The only one that's really in the mix of things is the Ember Spirit. Is we're going to find... the Weaver taking some damage, but once he's unsilenced, he will pop his time left. Yeah, that's something. I
actually like that word. Way better than your dot damage or whatever you like to say.
Everybody likes dot damage.
Unsilenced.
It sounds like more damage when you say dot damage.
Viper is going to be the next target on the menu. He's going to back out here. Actually going to drop the Mass Serpent Wards here from Sharky. I don't think that was necessary. I think it should save these for the high ground because...
Well, I think they know the Aegis is going to expire. Yeah. I'm not sure if they're going to want to continue.
I still think they could.
They
might not know how far ahead they are, but we're closing in on the magical 1,000 gold/experience per minute gain over the enemy team. 20,000 gold in experience at this point. When you have this kind of advantage, unless the enemy team has a very, very specific, sick AoE wombo combo, you can generally go high ground without any significant advantage. But maybe they wait for the Aegis. Of course, they should buy up their gold. That's another thing to keep in mind. Sure, you're ahead by 20,000, but if you've got like 10,000 in the bank, then you're ahead by 10,000.
Banks are useless in Dota 2.
Yeah.
You know, there's not enough regulations, so I don't know where I'm going with that. But either way, the Shadow Shaman working on his Aghanim Scepter. About 1,300 away. Don't think he'll finish that before the first Rax is breached. But again, if they want to wait for the Aegis, that is definitely a possibility. Of course, Necro 3 is finished on Quap. I mean, the items just continue for Orange. Ultimate Orb on top of that, probably going for Sheepstick. Boots of Travel, now on the Batrider.
He's really fast.
He is, good God. Yule Scepter and Boots of Travel.
Just needs the Mask of Madness now.
That's true. You think he'll go for it?
Knowing Winter, I think I heard him at some point in commentaries talking about how good the Mask of Madness is on Batrider, because this hero is all about the mobility, pretty much nothing else. Catch someone off, move them around.
What's the limit for when you lasso somebody till it breaks? Like, if you... Like, you can't... What am I trying to say? If you go too far, too fast, it breaks?
If Batrider moves more than 400 units in 0.05 seconds, the lasso breaks.
Oh, that's pretty difficult then.
So the only way of doing that is to swap him or blink. I think there's no other mechanic that transports you that quickly.
Right.
Okay. Let me think. Yeah. Force Staff isn't that quick. That's why Force is a great pickup on him. And there's nothing else that changes your position like that than swap, which is instant. So, yeah, those are the two only counters, and you can't even say blink as a counter because he has to do that himself.
Oh wow, so Quab actually did not go for Sheep, he goes for the Lincoln Sphere. I want to talk about Ember Spirit a little bit because people think that he's just trash now, and I just don't think that's the case, but he got off to a decent start as far as farm is concerned, but he goes for the very defensive route, and I mean, Ember Spirit's never going to do well with just full defense. Obviously they wanted to get this to late game, but it's just not looking like that's going to be the case here. As the Tier 3, oh, I hear initiation from Winter. Abba taking a Sonic Wave again at half HP. It's going to go down almost immediately. The mech not even enough to save him. Dream Coil on 2, pretty decent. Yule Scepter, apparently used on himself. Not sure to what effect, though. Ysera's getting really low. He doesn't have the Aegis, remember. Although Roshan should be up relatively shortly. But the Stygian Desolator on the Weaver doing absolute work against this tower. Searing Change was pretty good, but there's no real follow-up, especially with your... I don't know if I call Viper their main damage dealer, but maybe he is at this point. I think what Orange is going to do is just clean up the jungle, then go get Roche once he's up, which is in 1 minute.
Yeah, the next Mass Serpent Wards is going to give them... They're going to get racks from those. As a matter of fact, Shadow Shaman is pretty close to an Ags. He's 300 gold away with Blink, so... Their supports are just so rich. If you bring up the net worth chart, just compare. Like, the Rubik has 830 net worth in this game. He has absolutely nothing. You're not finding the right button. Try Y.
I'll find it eventually.
Y is good. Y is a good key. Okay. There we go. So Rubik has nothing. Both Shadow Shaman and Night Stalker are actually almost on par with the most farmed hero in MiTH. So almost the top 5 on net worth are going to Orange. This is just when your supports are this farmed, it actually wouldn't even matter. I feel like if one of their cores was falling behind, when both Shadow Shaman and Night Stalker as supports have this much net worth, you can like they transform into cores as well. Shadow Shaman is an exceptional late game support with an Axe Scepter when if he gets a refresher or goes completely insane.
Well, that's pretty ridiculous.
And Night Stalker as a support can transition too. He looks like he's going to go for Halberd here, which I
this
really
smoke
like
was
that
just
choice.
Abandoned. All they did was counter ward the Roche. They put a little Fire Spirit there. I think it's going to be there long enough for him to see Roshan actually spawn. But again, a counter smoke from Orange, as we'll call it. And they have the superior initiation. So if they can catch one person out, they'll have the advantage, and then they can breach high ground, especially once they get that Aegis, as we're having a little bit of lag, it seems, on Dota TV. Here comes Winter. His choice of initiation is upon Puck, who blows up. Mech is going to be used on pretty much a full HP Abba. But again, this is just delaying the inevitable. Actually, Weaver's pretty low to the Doom. He will
denied.
Fall. Are you serious?
Legit denied by Ysera there.
Ember Spirit getting... Sonic Wave is still up. So 4 dead to the 1 Weaver. Make that a team wipe. And don't even need to bother getting a Roshan on outfield. They could probably just breach this tier 3, and they will do so with the level 3 Necro books. And Orange is playing really, really well.
For the most part in this game, they've just been playing controlled aggression. They've overextended a little bit, but I feel like mainly knowing their limits here. And yeah, everyone has been contributing to the game so far in the way they should. We were a little worried for the Night Stalker support, perhaps, with the way it started out, but he's definitely been playing a big role. Oh, nice counter initiation here, actually.
From Lakells gets initiated on because Lasso is somehow up again. He's going to be trying to take the high ground, but the Yules is actually going to be used. And Orange is going to back up here. Quap gets out with barely enough HP. Night Stalker will not be so lucky. Surprisingly, the racks still stand.
Yeah, that was a buyback from the Ember Spirit though, so it was really expensive, and the Roshan more or less guaranteed for Orange. I don't see any way MiTH Trust can contest it. They can't even steal it in any. Well, technically they could try to snipe the Roche with either Puck or Ember, but it's going to be really hard jumping into Mass Serpent wards, jumping into the instant Hex, and the Night Stalker Silence, of course. So they're probably just going to let Orange have it. They will realize it's up now. I think Winter scouted it. Or else they can just scout it whenever the Night Stalker is up.
Is Batrider going for Lincolns too? Just to try to avoid this Doom, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like getting multiple Lincolns in this game is actually really good, because there's not that many single target abilities to break it with. But those ones are really important. It's either the Telekinesis or the Level Death or the Doom. So some really good abilities to block.
Winter getting Searing Chain. They see him because of the... I'm assuming they have a gem. I don't think it's Sentry's anywhere close to here. He's going to Force Staff out. Look at the right clicks from Weaver, just decimating foes. 1 dead, that is the Rubik. As the fight continues, the Lasso again is up. The cooldown is so low on this spell. Lakells, the Flame Guard does not save you, good sir. 2 dead. And I believe the fight will end here. The wards are up. Roshan is up. I suspect that they'll just take him out right now.
I think they should go down mid. They should know Lakel's bought back, so they have a full minute to just go drop the Mass Serpent wards and take the racks. They'll take Roshan the way just to play completely safe, but yeah, this is the amount of... I don't think Orange realize how far ahead they are. Then they wouldn't go for this. This is an absolutely insane lead that they have at this point. It is an important tournament though, of course, this qualifier, and Orange would definitely prefer not to lose any games if they could get away with it, so might as well not risk it at all, but yeah, this is...
And they're able to give
this
it to
is
Weaver
as close to over as it gets. The next time MiTH loses a fight, they lose the entire base. And they have... I mean, a 30k gold disadvantage might have never been overcome, I think. But if you were to do it, it would definitely not be with this lineup either. You'd need something like a Darkseer Vacuum into 5-man wall, huge AoE damage on top of that. Darkseer perhaps the only hero actually who can overcome that, because he can turn the enemy's gold advantage against them, because he makes illusions of all of them. He is the best defensive hero in the game when you're really far behind. They don't have him. They have heroes that can't really get the job done here.
MKB complete now on the Weaver. Just adding insult to injury. All these Lincoln Spheres. Even Night Stalker's working on a Halberd, which will be amazing against Viper. But of course, Viper's not even complete with his Aghanim Scepter as of yet. Weaver applying some pressure to this melee racks. Almost dead. Don't think MiTH Trust is going to be able to hold this. In fact, they're just going to give it up. Not ready to fight. Not exactly sure what they're going to be able to do. Is Weaver, or I'm sorry, Viper's the one initiated on by Winter. They're going to take him out pretty much right off the bat again. The mech just not doing anything. But the Doom applied to Quap. They're not going to be able to get the deny, so a nice kill there. But Doom is the last to survive. They're just going to call it GG. Too much farm, too much experience. Everything going the way of Orange this game. And really impressive game from them overall.
I feel like this was a combination of Orange playing a really good game and at the same time MiTH just going way too greedy. I think the biggest issue that they had in the game was the draft. The puck came online way too late. He basically, in this game, he had to compensate for the fact that MiTH supports couldn't do anything about the Batrider. So if the puck has a bad game and Batrider has a good game, that's effectively just two lanes flat out lost heavily. And then you combine that with the mid lane going well for Orange as well. That was the Queen of Pain versus Viper, where I feel like Viper has the edge, but Queen of Pain pretty much played evenly. And the first nighttime Night Stalker got some ganks off. Just very solid performance from Orange. I guess they went into this game as the favorites, but I was not expecting this to be that one-sided, and doesn't bode too well for MiTH Trust.
I don't know why I'm pointing at the camera. I sound miserable. I don't feel miserable.
That's something, but you are miserable.
It's very uncomfortable. I was really tempted to go to the bathroom to blow my nose because I couldn't find my tissues, but alas, we are professionals here at Dota Cinema. God, not even close. Are you on Fear's Steam account right now?
Yeah, do you want me to troll him?
Yeah, you should troll him. That'd be pretty hilarious.
I need to log on my own now.
All right, anyway, I do like the Night Stalker support.
I think they're the only team in the world that does that, by the way.
It's pretty cool. I like the idea. I mean, if you really think about it, sure, on paper, during the daytime, the first 4 minutes, he's complete garbage. Doesn't really help in the lane whatsoever. But, of course, you can just have him pull for the first couple minutes, get level 2, maybe 3, which he did. 4 minutes, like the early nighttime, which they changed. I guess it's been a while now, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of Night Stalker since then, so I think it's worth mentioning. That 4 to 8 minutes is really where, if he can get a couple ganks successfully, then I think he can take off, and we kind of saw that to some degree. But of course, they won every single lane anyway, so yeah. I'm not sure how important it actually was.
I think this wasn't the best game to showcase the support Night Stalker, but it's a good way of looking at how I feel like Orange approached the draft. They get this Night Stalker when they are sure they're not getting challenged, or when the chance that they get challenged is low, and that the lane they will be going against them they could probably deal with. They let Night Stalker do the pulling, so he gets a little bit of experience, because he needs to go into the first nighttime with level 3. And 4 minutes, a couple of pulls, a little bit of lane experience, and they've got that, and then rotate around. I'm excited to see them doing it some more. I wonder if it's something other teams are going to pick up on and maybe try to use, or if they don't care, or if they're going to ban it against Orange only. But it seems to be a pattern that they try to go for this as much as possible, actually, and have had decent success with it so far.
I'm interested to see if people actually end up banning it. That would be quite unique.
Yeah, no one bans or picks Night Stalker these days.
But I think for that game and specifically, Puck just got dominated. You saw the Blink Dagger was so close for so long, but it was just too little too late, I feel. But yeah, that is MiTH Trust versus Orange. Orange takes that game. This was the TI4 Qualifiers SEA edition presented by Monster. This has already been the most ghetto cast of all time, so I might as well just look off this sheet of paper to see our schedule.
Our next game, which is coming up right away, is going to be MiTH Trust versus Zephyr, which is kind of... Zephyr is probably going to be one of the biggest storylines of this qualifier. People are like, can they do it? Believe in the power of friendship.
Wait, it's Orange, isn't it?
It's down here.
Oh, we're upstairs?
Yeah, it's a little... Yeah, we are.
Oh. Okay, God, this is just so bad. Okay, Mistress versus Zephyr. Okay,
Oh God.
I'm gonna go see if I should cast or not, based on the public opinion.
The feedback.
But I really wanna cast Zephyr, but I'll do whatever you guys want. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I sound like
you sound amazing.
God-awful, disgusting mess. But it's just the way it is.
You're a strong, independent Jew who don't need no voice.
It's the gamer's life, basically. Okay, we'll be right back, guys. God help us all. Every single one of us.